What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogreboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2002 movie Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So in this movie, Harry is getting ready to go back to Hogwarts for his second year and everything, and he, one night, house elf shows up in his bedroom named Dobby, and he warns Harry not to go back to Hogwarts. And throughout the movie, he keeps having these little mishaps and stuff that we find out that Dobby is trying to keep him from staying at Hogwarts because there's this plot going on, and there's this big mystery and stuff involving the Chamber of Secrets and the heir of Salazar Slytherin opening the Chamber of Secrets and unleashing this basilisk. Like I said, it's a big mystery. A lot of the characters suspect that it's Harry, and then they kind of have a little mystery, is it Hagrid, and it all leads back to Voldemort by the end of the movie. But this is one of my favorite movies in the franchise. It's probably my second favorite. I just absolutely love this one. The story is just really great. It takes everything we got from the first movie and expands it really well and everything. It's one of those really great sequels that just expands the world even more, and a lot of the movies in this franchise do that and everything. Like each sequel adds new layers to this world that we were introduced to in Sorcerer's Stone, but this one does a really good job of expanding it. We get some really great moments in here. Some of my favorite scenes are in this of the franchise are in this movie, especially like the ending. Like it has the best third act, one of the best third acts in the franchise, when they go into the Chamber of Secrets and stuff, and he has to fight the basilisk. Probably saying that wrong, but yeah, I think that's a really awesome scene and everything. But I love like the mystery of this movie. Like there's throughout the movie there's this mystery. They think Draco might be the heir of Slytherin, and they do this polyjuice potion so Ron and Harry can go into the Slytherin common room and talk to Draco and try to find out if he was the one that opened it. And then later on in the movie, Harry finds this diary and finds out that Hagrid might be responsible, and then they end up going into the forest and stuff after Hagrid gets arrested because he's being suspected of being the one that opened it again. And Harry and Ron find out through Hagrid's spider friend, who's like this gigantic spider named Aragog, that Hagrid was innocent. And eventually it all leads back to, we find out that Ginny Weasley, Ron's little sister, is the one that opened the Chamber of Secrets due to being possessed by Voldemort's soul that's in this diary that Lucius Malfoy put in their cauldron and stuff. And so like the whole mystery throughout the whole movie is a lot of fun, and like the characters keep getting petrified and stuff throughout the movie, where they're like just frozen stiff. They look like they're dead, but they're not. And Harry is the one getting blamed for it throughout the movie. Most of the students and stuff think that it's him and everything, even though there's not really a lot of evidence except for the fact that he can talk to snakes. A lot of people think that that's one of the reasons why, is because he talks to a snake in front of all these other students and stuff. But it's really entertaining movie. Like the mystery stuff is some of the best thing about this movie. Is like they're trying to figure out who's behind all these attacks and stuff to stop it and everything. And it does a lot of really fun little twists and turns. And we got a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher in this movie, Gilderoy Lockhart, played by Kenneth Branagh, and he is just absolutely perfect in the role. Like he is hilarious, he's charming, and he kind of has a little bit of a sadistic side to him. Like when you find out the big reveal that he's a phony and everything, although you can kind of tell it throughout the whole movie that he's a phony and stuff. But when I saw it for the first time as a kid, it kind of took me by surprise a little bit, because I had not read the book yet when I saw the movie. I was like just slowly getting into the second book when I actually saw the movie for the first time. I didn't finish the book first and everything, because when I was younger I used to want to see the movies as soon as I could, so sometimes I didn't finish the books before I saw the movies. But it really took me by surprise and stuff when I found out that he was a phony. But every time I rewatch it, it's pretty obvious that he is one throughout. If you watch it, and you like watching the other teachers' reactions to his little comments about how he would have known how to stop stuff and everything. If you watch their facial expressions, it's actually kind of hilarious. And like the duel scene with Snape and everything, when Snape knocks him flying, he gets up and he's acting like he could have easily taken him on and stuff. That scene always cracks me up. And even though he's not really a good character, I like Gilderoy Lockhart just because he's really humorous, and Kenneth Branagh just does a really, really great job playing him. He's absolutely perfect in the role and everything. They originally wanted Hugh Grant to do it, and I think he had to pass it on it because of the movie 2 Weeks Notice with Sandra Bullock that most people probably don't even remember. And I think that was probably for the better, because Kenneth Branagh just was perfect in this role. He's one of the best castings and everything. And this is the only movie we see him in. He is in at least one other book, but he's not in that other movie, which I'll talk more about that when I get to that review and everything. But I loved him in here, and the rest of the new cast in here are great too. This is the one where we get introduced to Arthur Williams as Mr. Weasley. I think it's, or Mark Williams. I had his name all mixed up. It's Arthur Weasley. Mark Williams as actor. He's really great as Mr. Weasley and everything. And he doesn't have a lot of screen time, but just a little bit he is in this movie. He's just a really lovable character and everything. Just like with Mrs. Weasley, you really like her in the very first movie, even though she only has a few minutes of screen time. And Mr. Weasley doesn't have a lot of screen time in this one either, but he's just really likable and everything. And Mark Williams is perfect in the role and everything. I love this scene, like when Mrs. Weasley tells them about them flying the car, and he's like, "How did it go?" And she acts like she's about to swat him in the head. It reminded me of my grandparents, like it reminded me of something my grandpa would have been like, and my grandma would have done that too. Just really, really nice little scene. And there's other scenes in this movie that are just really nice, like the scene when Ron is throwing up the slugs and stuff, and they go to Hagrid's, which him throwing up the slugs isn't really nice to watch. It's really kind of disgusting, but like the little scene when Hagrid is just talking to Hermione and stuff, and she's upset because Malfoy called her mudblood and stuff, and he's trying to cheer her up. It's just little scenes like that make this series so great and everything. It's and makes me love Hagrid. Like, he doesn't get as much respect and stuff as he deserves, and they kind of make him more of a side character in the rest of the franchise. But these first two movies, they really did Hagrid justice, and like that ending and stuff where the entire school is cheering him on and stuff. It's just really heartwarming and stuff, because Hagrid is a very underrated character, and I've always liked him and stuff. Even as a kid, I always liked Hagrid, but for some reason in recent years I've kind of started appreciating him a lot more for some reason. I don't know what it is about him, but I love Hagrid, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. And also we get introduced to Lucius Malfoy, who is one of my favorite villains of the franchise. I absolutely hate the character, but also love watching him because Jason Isaacs plays him, and he is so great at playing villains and everything. And this was probably the first thing I ever saw Jason Isaac in, but he was really great in this the Harry Potter movies, especially this one is Lucius Malfoy. This is one where he has the biggest presence and stuff, and he's just a very unlikable character, and you see where Draco gets it from and everything. Like he just is such a jerk, and it kind of makes you feel bad for Draco having to be raised by someone like him and everything. And he somewhat gets a little. Well, actually, he doesn't really get redeemed in the franchise, but you kind of do feel sorry for him more as the franchise goes on. But in this movie, he can't help but hate him. But he's one of those that I love, those villains that I love to hate, kind of like Bellatrix, which I'll get to her when I get to that one, because I absolutely hate Bellatrix too. But I love the performances, though. A lot, like Jason Isaacs is just perfect in this movie, and perfectly cast. Like that's one thing Harry Potter has gotten right, though, is the entire cast is just perfectly cast in all these movies, and every time they have new additions to each movie and stuff, the new cast members are always perfect for their roles and everything, and the ones that were added in this one are no exception. The visual effects in here hold up even better than the ones in Sorcerer's Stone. I didn't realize like how great the visuals were. Like they used a lot of practical effects in here. Like I'm pretty sure the basilisk was practical. I'm sorry I keep saying the name wrong, because I know I know in my head it's something else, but I just can't pronounce it right for some reason. But I know that one, I know it was CGI at times, and even when it is, you can't really tell. Like the CGI is really, really good on it. And same with the spiders. Some of the spiders are CGI, but they all look really good. And the CGI just holds up very well. Like compared to other early 2000s movies like The Mummy Returns, the CGI is way, way better than that. And everything. I think it all holds up really well. Like I watched it on Blu-ray, and I was worried that watching them on Blu-ray the CGI would show its age, but it really doesn't, and everything. Man, I think that comes down to them really trying to use practical as much as they can. And here, and Dobby is completely CGI, and he still holds up really well. He looks still looks just really great, and like he looks real and stuff. So I think they did a really great job on him as well. And he's another character that he's like a fan favorite. Everybody loves him, and I do too. And I felt like they really cheated him in this franchise too, because he's in most of the books, but only gets to be in this movie and Part 7, and they only bring him back so that he can die in that one. But I absolutely love Dobby. He's just really great. Toby Jones is perfect at doing his voice and everything. But all of these cast members are so great in here, and all the new characters are really well done, whether they're likable or ones that you love to hate, or ones that are just really, really big idiots and you just can't help but like them because of how dumb they are, like Lockhart. All of them are great, and John Williams once again did the score for this movie, and I don't know that I like it quite as much as his score for the first movie, but it's still really good. It's about on par with it, because it has some really great music and stuff, especially like the scene when Dobby snaps his fingers and disappears after making the cake fall on the lady at the Dursleys' house. I've always loved that little piece of music in there, but all of the score is still once again really great, and the flying car is awesome. I always wish that I could have a flying Ford Angela like in Harry Potter. It's just awesome watching the car fly, and the CGI on that holds up really well too. I did notice it a little bit towards the scene when they're about to fly into the Whomping Willow and everything, which I think that holds up too. And this has a lot of really good sets and stuff too, like all these movies do, though. They do a really great job with this franchise, and this movie's no exception. But I absolutely love Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I think it's a really great entry. I liked it even more than the first one, and everything. It's one of my favorite movies in the franchise. Like I said, it might be my second favorite. I don't know. It's going to be really high when I do my ranking, though, I can tell you that much. But my thoughts really haven't changed on it in the 18 years since I saw it for the first time, because I like the first one. I didn't see this one in theaters. I saw it when it first came out on DVD, and then I did get to eventually see it in theaters 3 or 4 years ago. But it's a really, really great movie, and really enjoyable, and definitely one that I would recommend. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, it's definitely one of the ones that's a must-see, but personally I think if you're a fan of Harry Potter, all of them are worth seeing. Even the ones that aren't quite as good, but I'm going to give this one the same rating that I gave the first one, and give it a 10 out of 10, because to me it's just a really great movie and everything. So yeah, so anyway, that's my review for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Let me know in the comments what you think of this movie. Did you like it more than Sorcerer's Stone? Did you think it was a big step down? I know a lot of people actually have this pretty low in their rankings, and part of it I think is because the running time is like 2 hours and 40 minutes long. And maybe it didn't really need to be that long, but it doesn't bother me because like with Sorcerer's Stone, I'm invested in the story from the very beginning, so I never really get bored with it. There's not really any parts of the movie that I think needed to be cut out and stuff, and it's just Harry Potter is one of those franchises where you can't really do too much with it for me. They could add all the deleted scenes that are on the bonus disc, and I think it would make the movie even better, even though it doesn't need to be made better because it's already a really great movie, if that makes sense. But I love this one. But let me know in the comments what you think of Chamber of Secrets. Is it one of your favorites, one of your least favorites? I'm curious to hear what you think about it, because I know some people do say it is one of their least favorites and stuff. But and also I have a Harry Potter group on Facebook that I created a few years ago called Potterheads Forever. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, you're more than welcome to join that group. I'll leave a link in the description and stuff, so you can join and everything. We'd love to have you. And thank you all for watching, and have a good day, everybody.